Hi, everyone. My name is Joan Schottenfeld. I'm a Massachusetts STAR trainer. I'm also a curriculum coach for SABES, and I teach both ELA and social studies, and I'm also a STAR teacher. I have been teaching at a program in the South End since the coronavirus has taken over our lives. We've been unable to meet face-to-face with our students. Meeting on Zoom hasn't been an option for us because of our students' schedules. So we haven't been able to have the immediate interaction in a classroom situation that good teaching requires. We text, we email, we call, but we haven't been able to have any face-to-face learning with them. So as a result, we at Julie's were forced to find online asynchronous alternatives for holding classes. And there are our students not looking very happy because everything is asynchronous. The parameters or criteria that we established to decide which educational platforms we wanted to use were that they needed to be free or affordable, because we do not have that big a budget, have easy student access, and that was fairly easy for us because we always make sure that all of our students have laptops. We get laptops for them that they can use at home. It needed to be user-friendly. It needed to be organized for both students and staff. It needed to be engaging to encourage student participation. And it needed to be easy for the students to process material with limited teacher interaction. With those criteria in mind, after many conversations, we decided to use a combination of Google Classroom, Google Forms, videos with YouTube as our host platform, and PowerPoints. We decided to use all of those because they were all free. They were easy to learn, for the teachers to learn and for the students. They were easily available, and they could be used on the students' cell phones if they were not using the laptops that we got them for whatever reason. I'm going to show you a typical video that I make every week for my students, and this one is going to be a vocabulary classroom that's based on STAR principles. Hi, everyone. Welcome back. It seems like such a long time, and now we're into a new year, and hopefully things will be better. I hope you share my optimism, and I hope you recognize that as a vocabulary word from last time. Anyway, we have a new set of vocabulary words this week. We're in session 5 now, week 1. This week's words are acute, anonymous, apprehensive, arrogant, and bestow. Acute is an adjective. It means severe, sharp, intense, very great. It also sometimes is something that has come on very suddenly. Many times we talk about having an acute pain. My headache pains were so acute, they felt like needles in my head. You can have acute regret. He acutely regretted that he had not spoken to his daughters and his son for so many years. Sometimes in the news you hear about an acute housing shortage when suddenly there aren't enough apartments or houses for people to live in. You can even have acute hunger pains that come on suddenly in the middle of the day and you have to have lunch. So that is our word, acute. The next word is anonymous. I'm sure a lot of you have already heard this word. It means having an unknown or an unidentified author. Many people who write anonymous tweets feel free to be nasty because no one can identify them. Unfortunately, when people do write things anonymously, they will say things that they would never dream of saying if people knew who they were. A lot of times you will read a poem that nobody knows the author of, and that is true of many of the older poetry that you might read. And so at the bottom of the poem you will see anonymous. Letters can be written anonymously as well. So anytime you receive an anonymous package, that means you don't know who sent it, be careful and maybe you better not open it. The lesson that you just saw actually had 5 vocabulary words because I introduce 5 words to my class every week. And every week I create a PowerPoint based on those 5 tier 2 words. I then record my video on Zoom, sharing my screen as I go through the PowerPoint, as you could hear, and I narrate the PowerPoint, adding commentary and description so that I can give my students many examples of how to use the word. I upload the video to our school's YouTube channel. This is an unlisted channel that we created for the school to host all of our videos. It's available only to our students and staff and to anybody else that we actually gave the link to, so that when you go look for it on your screen, you can find it in your documents listed, and you can either name it, I just leave it and I look for it according to the date, and the last date is the one that I upload to YouTube. You can see I did name this one Vocabulary 10 Video, so that when I go to YouTube and I need to upload it, I can link that to YouTube and know which one is my latest video. I look for my videos, and you can see on the left it says Your Videos, and that brings me to the videos that I've already created on our YouTube channel. I then look for the button that says Create. And you can see it actually says create, or sometimes it says upload video. I click on that, and then it asks me which one would I like, and I go back and get the vocabulary video that I need. Once I've uploaded the video to YouTube, I go back and create a Google form so that the students have a chance to practice what they've just seen on the video. The form includes the link to the YouTube video, and watching the video is a requisite for filling out that YouTube form. I include a table of short definitions of the words so that the students don't have to constantly go back and forth between the video and the Google form. I also create 2 sections, a multiple choice section and a fill in the blank section. Of course, I include plenty of graphics, funny sometimes, to keep their interest. And I encourage the students to watch the video by including one question on the video that they will need to refer to when they answer a Google question. And they've learned the hard way that they can't fill out the entire form unless they watch the video, because there is information in the video that they need for the form. And this is what they see when they go to Google Classroom. They will see Vocabulary 5. They will see that they can click on the YouTube video, and they can click on the vocabulary form. Now, there are 2 ways you can link the video to the form. You can actually put the link into the form, and that makes it a little easier for the student because they don't have to leave the form to watch the video, or you can do it separately the way I have done it here. Now, I discovered that if you leave it in the form, when they click on it, they cannot enlarge the form. So they're seeing the video in a very small form, and it's harder to see. Whereas if I do it separately, they can see the form, they can enlarge it and take up the full screen, and they can see everything much more clearly. So now I do it separately. I think it's easier for the students. And that is basically how I create asynchronous learning. We discovered that we needed definite criteria for our educational platforms. We covered all the digital tools that we used: Google Forms, YouTube, videos, PowerPoints. We created a PowerPoint, and you will be able to do that as well. And then we recorded everything with Zoom, and we uploaded everything to the YouTube channel, and then provided a link to Google Classroom. So far, this has worked really well for us. Our students have told us that they enjoy watching the videos. They're used to Google Forms, and so there aren't any problems. They know exactly what they're doing, and they're actually interested, and they have been doing the lessons that we provided. And that is basically our solution to asynchronous learning in the land of the pandemic. Thank you.